Hey guys, Charles from the Thought Not Seers podcast here with some more modern. Actually joined another modern PPTQ. I guess this is just a PTQ, sort of, with with Just Guy Thing Ascension. Hey guys, Charles here with the Thought Not Seers podcast with another video for Thing Ascension. I've just joined another modern PTQ, and this hand is interesting. We've got a payoff card. We have Lightning Helix, which will help us stave off aggressive decks. But I'm gonna keep this. It seems a little slow, but we are kind of resilient to discard. We have 2 copies of Pyromancer Ascension. We might be getting Thought Seized here. Looks like Inquisition, sure. One thing I've noticed about this deck is that it's both resilient and weak to discard. Like, sometimes you get hands where, there's just one payoff card and a bunch of cantrips. And, they take your payoff card and you can never get back in the game. But sometimes, because we run like 8 powerful cards in terms of Thing in the Ice and Pyromancer Ascension, and see here that our opponent took our Lightning Helix, so there's the Thoughtseize effect for you. So it might be that our opponent has a Dark Confidant or a Grim Flayer that he wants to protect. That would be my guess. And I guess we're getting probably a Hollowed Fountain with this Scalding Tarn. Actually, should throw a little bit more, because that would actually allow us to get us a basic mountain if we need to, but I don't think that's going to be the biggest of issues. Yeah. Get a Hollowed Fountain tapped, and I think we actually just play Pyromancer Ascension here, because we're not really getting anywhere by Lightning Helixing right now. Next turn we can get a counter on the Ascension and kill the Confidant. It's annoying that we give our opponent a card. Flagstones of Trocaire, so that's interesting. Is our opponent on like black-white tokens or something? I mean, Bob is an interesting inclusion in that build because they run, what's it called? Spectral Procession. So, I think our Monastery Mentor, geez, our opponent's running an interesting deck. I'd be definitely interested to see what he's got going on. So I guess we Helix the Mentor, because that's going to kill us more quickly. So let's start off by Serum Visioning, though. Just best to get some more information. And if we draw a Lightning Bolt or something, then it's better to, be able to go Cantrip and Lightning Bolt. Got some good cards here. Let's put Steam Vents at the bottom, and I'm pretty sure we want to keep Metamorphose. So, yeah, let's... I think we just Helix now, because we don't know what colors you want to set the Metamorphose to. Yeah, it's one of the issues with Confidant in a build like this. Like you're running like a bunch of 3 and 4 drops, and God forbid you hit not Lingering Souls, you hit a Spectral Procession. I mean, there was a time when Jund used to run Tassiger main deck, and they also played Dark Confidant, and so that can be a real non-bow. And looks like our opponent's probably on straight black-white, so at the very least we don't have to worry about Abrupt Decay taking out our Ascension. And luckily for us, this isn't the fastest of clocks, so we have time to kind of set up shop We have 3 spells in the graveyard right now. We can put 5 by our 6 actually by our next turn. So, okay, let's Gitaxian probe our opponent. Okay. So our opponent doesn't have a particularly fast hand, and ooh, perfect. We can Lightning Helix to take care of Bob. Get another counter on our Ascension, and now we get to fork this sleight of hand. Okay. All very interesting. I think we take Thing in the Ice. Actually, no. Sleight of hand. We know our opponent has a Victim of Night in hand, and that's werewolves, vampires, and zombies. So, actually, it will hit our horror. I know it's weird, but that's how it works. And so we need to be a little bit careful about the colors that we want with Manamorphose. The reflexive thing is just to go blue-red, but that's always a, you know, that's always that's something that can change. Given that that our only white spells main deck, the Lightning Helices are all in our graveyard, I don't think we need to worry too much about that. Our opponent's at 12 now, so it's kind of reasonable to think that having a going for lightning bolting our opponent will be successful. And so I think with this one I think we are just going to go blue-red with these, because we need mana for Sleight of Hand and for Manamorphose. So let's go blue-red and blue-red. Okay, so we're going to Serum Visions first, so that we can get the Scry going. And we want to cast Sleight of Hand last, usually. Do we want another Ascension? That's an interesting question. How quickly can we get that off? We can go Manamorphose, Sleight of Hand. That would use 2 of our mana. Yeah, I'm down. Let's put down the bottom, this on the top. Let's put Remand on the bottom, Thought Scour on top. Manamorphose using the... Oh, sorry. Pyromancer Ascension using the red mana we have floating. And now Manamorphose. So I think we had blue-red again. Because we do have this Bedlam Reveler that can help out with finding more cards. I think we want Manamorphose here. Let's see. We know our opponent has Victim of Night and he can cast it, so I do think we're just going to grab the Thing in the Ice anyways. So we can play Thing in the Ice and then go... Or actually we can go Manamorphose first and have a lot of mana. We also have this Remand to kind of stop them from Victim of Nighting us. Let's go blue-red. red. Blue red. Thing in the ice. Given that our opponent probably isn't going to kill us the next turn, I feel kind of fine just running out a bunch of these cantrips. And he only has one Victim of Night. And actually I'm thinking that we want to... Oh, there's Lightning Bolt. I'm thinking that we want to actually make sure next time to put the Thing in the Ice triggers first. Actually, no. We want to... Scratch that. We want to actually do it the other way around. We want to draw the stuff first. So we might be able to... like, if our opponent lets these triggers copy the spell triggers resolve first, then we can we might be able to draw an instant or something and respond. Ooh. I was about to say that we probably need to pass the turn, but drawing Metamorphose means that we have enough mana to dig for another Lightning Bolt. I have to say, I love it when showboating is the correct play. Up, there's Lightning Bolt. Actually, something I could have considered doing was going Lightning Bolt, remand my own Lightning Bolt. The other copies remain on the stack. So... Alright. Okay, that went pretty well. So... I don't think our opponent has too much in the way of sideboard hate. What could he bring in? He could bring in... I mean, I assume he has Path to Exile to hit Thing in the Ice. He'll probably just keep those. I guess one thing that we would have to worry about is Rest in Peace. Because that could kind of interfere with our Pyromancer Ascensions. So I think we want a couple of copies of Anger of the Gods, because he is playing a token-based strategy, and spot removal is going to be less good against him. He does have Monastery Mentor and Dark Confidant, but I think Lightning Helix is the weaker of the two removal spells here. He's not going to pressurize us particularly early, and just costing 1 mana instead of 2 and in a different color does put a strain on our mana. And now we want, thinking about Path to Exile, Dispel, Molten Rain. These are all cards I'm thinking of. This deck seems like it would be very mana hungry. Like black-white token decks actually play a very large amount of non-basic, so if I had Blood Moon, I would bring that in. I'm a little less certain about Molten Rain. Thing about Pyromancer is that it dies to all of the removal that they have, and given that this seems like a kind of grindy deck, I think that he probably needs to keep some amount of removal in. So, I'm just going to go with the Molten Rains for now. See what our opponent does. Yeah, it's just they do have pretty heavy color requirements. Like if they are playing Spectral Procession, then they need triple white for that. And they are playing Victim of Night, so that requires double black. If they are playing something like Liliana of the Veil or Gideon, Ally of Zendikar, then that's going to require them to have even more strict mana requirements. And this hand I think is fine, and definitely want to keep land on top. Opponent leading on Flagstones is kind of encouraging. So let's lead on Steam Vents. That way we know that we want to probably do something during our opponent's turn. If our opponent goes Dark Confidant, we can Lightning Bolt it. Otherwise, if he just does nothing, then we can Thought Scour into turn. And here, yeah, I'm just fine with him Inquisitioning us. If he takes our Thought Scour, then so be it. I'd rather he just take the... I mean, he's probably just going to take the Ascension here. But if he does take the Thought Scour, then I'm fine with that. And I don't want to give him more information. Okay, so he goes... So he takes our Lightning Bolt, which is kind of indicative that he probably has a Bob or something he wants to protect. Level in, not the greatest draw. Grab Island and play Ascension. It's possible this gets like disenchanted our next turn. Mana Dive. Okay, you got me. That is... Yep, that's entirely fair. I guess, I guess I just need to be a little bit... Okay. I guess I just need to be cognizant of that fact. That he has Mana Tithe. Okay, 1, 2, 3 spells, so... It's possible our opponent has another Mana Tithe, but... Yeah, sometimes you just gotta kill it, Bob. We have 1, 2, 3, 4 spells in the graveyard. So Bedlam Reveler costs 4. We can make it cost 3 with Sleight of Hand. Yeah, so if we draw Molten Rain, we could Molten Rain the Fetid Heath, which would be pretty good. So Thought Scour us. And that's... I think that's enough, actually. So let's cast and play Reveler. Mentor's a pretty good draw for him. Ooh, Liliana. Molten Rain would be a great draw here. Just saying. Blow up the Fetid Heath, deal 2 to Liliana. Yeah, that's gas. Okay, I think we just go ahead and play Thing of the Ice here. So we know he has one, so we know he has a Monastery Mentor in hand. I guess for now we just hold on to these cards and pitch the Thought Scour to Liliana. Well, I guess we're not holding on to anything then. I guess he duresses us, we just cast this stuff in response. Aw, man. Oh. Did not draw a Lightning Bolt. That's a shame. I guess I could have just gone UU there. Actually, now that I think about it, it was probably correct just to do that on my turn, because then we we might be able to draw like Serum Visions and stuff, and other sorcery speed cantrips. So yeah, that was a mistake on my part. Alright, another Thing in the Ice. If our opponent makes a sack, we'll just sack the Thing in the Ice with 4 counters on it. So what would be good? Good would be Bedlam Reveler, because that would draw us 3 cards. Anger of the Gods would be excellent. So yeah, Anger of the Gods would be our best draw. Bedlam Reveler would be pretty bad. I guess just cantrips would be good too, so that we can just bounce everything and attack. Like, just going for a string of cantrips would be best. Land, not really what we want. Let's see, so that's 2, 4, 5, 6. If he doesn't draw a spell, 2 plus 3, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Things not looking great. There's a Mana Tithe. So, our hope is we draw Anger, of course. That's always good. We could draw enough cantrips to just bounce everything, considering our thing only has 2 counters on it. That's a realistic no, never mind. We're just dead to him just flashing back Lingering Souls. Okay. That is fine. Is there anything we could have done differently that game? Yeah, I guess we could have that turn where we went off with when we cast Metamorphosis on our opponent's turn. That was a mistake, because we have a lot more sorcery speed 1-drops than there are instant speed. So, yep. Looks like our opponent might not have a ton of spot removals, and he does have Liliana. So I'm actually think that this Molten Rain plan is not where I want to be. I'm just gonna bring in Young Pyromancers. Like Path to Exile is good for us. Probably doesn't have Victim of Night. Definitely want to play. And yeah, this hand looks pretty good. Got a cantrip, got a couple of payoff cards. Guess it's a little weak to Rest in Peace. I do want both of these. Alright. No turn 1 discard. That's good. That's good. So next turn we can go Metamorphose for blue-red. Go Sleight of Hand, and Lightning Bolt something. That's 3... No, that's 4 spells. Alright. Well, guess we're on the Thing in the Ice beatdown plan now. On the plus side, we are able to just flip this thing quickly, so... Alright. Let's get the Cataxian Probe. Probe our opponent for life. Ooh. This could be awkward. Ooh. No, let's just lightning bolt him. I think we're just going to have to try to burn our opponent out this game. So if he smallpoxes, we sacrifice Plains, discard Bedlam Reveler. Luckily for us, it does make both of us lose a life, so... We do have remands. Okay, so our plan is to just try to dig for lightning bolts. Opponent has plenty. Oh, what did he discard? Discarded Tech Edge. Okay. Luckily for us, Flagstones doesn't work with Rest in Peace. Young Pyromancer could be good, although we know that he has, what's it called? Victim of Night. So, we know about these cards. So he has another Smallpox, a Fulminator, and a Victim of Night. So, I think we get Steam Vents with this, and Young Pyromancer casting Serum Visions. That means he can't do everything in Winter. He can, if he smallpoxes, we just sacrifice the token. So he has to just kill the Young Pyromancer. Then we can hit him down to 7, and it gives us more time to search for burn. Yeah, and fetching out a Steam Vents here because we need to play around that Fulminator Mage potentially cutting us off one of our colors. All right, was hoping for a Gitaxian Probe. Although Thing in the Ice is good to draw once he's out of removal. Alright, so Thing of the Ice, cast a Sleight of Hand. I guess more things is how we win, so if we get in one more attack with this elemental token, then he's in double bolt range. So best draw would probably be Manamorphose. Okay, it takes care of our Hollowed Fountain, which does not do a ton on this board. If you remember, we boarded out our white spells. So, we know that he has a Smallpox in hand, and that's it. Yeah, I guess Gitaxian Probe would probably be our best draw. Like, Morphos into Probe. If we draw Metamorphose, what colors do we set it to? I think blue-red makes the most sense, considering... Actually, just... probably blue-blue, actually. Victim of Night's the Elemental. I mean, it is the only clock here, and... Well, I'm not even going to cast the Pyromancer Ascensions. If he has the Leona and wants to make us discard, that's just more fodder, and they're never going to get active anyways. Do need to get actual spells, though. Luckily, that's all 4 that we've drawn, so there's only 2 Bedlam Revelers that are bad draws. Alright. Uncastable Young Pyromancer. If we had drawn these in the opposite order, you know, I mean, it would still be bad because we can't actually, you know, do anything with this Ascension. card's Death Cloud. Interesting. So I guess we want lands and spells. Mountain, good start. I guess next, like, the best thing would be next step, draw Sulphur Falls, play Young Pyromancer, and then draw into more spells that way. Okay, so we don't know anything in his hand so far. Would like to draw Blue Source here. Would be fantastic. Sure, guess he takes our Serum Visions. Yep. Wouldn't mind him pathing our Thing of the Ice. Well, we're out of the clock now, boys. Go, go, Young Pyromancer. Attack 3 times for the win. Come on. Yes! Our opponent didn't have anything. Okay. This has been one of the weirder games I've played so far. Alright, come on, Lightning Bolt, off the top. One time, no whammies. Sure. Alright, what you got? What you got, opponent? Bunch of uncastables. Alright. So we could just draw more spells in order to flip this Thing in the Ice and attack for lethal. Or, okay. That works too. Ooh. I'm not sure if our opponent is right to try to bring in Fulminators and such. I mean, our mana base is a little wonky, and that's one thing that I do want to improve upon in this deck. But our spells are all cheaper than his. Like, his payoff spells are Monastery Mentors. He's got Liliana that he needs to cast. And so, I'm not sure if he really wants to be spending a lot of time fulminatoring us, especially if he can just use those 2/2s to block a silly little 1/1. Interesting though, I have played a lot of black-white tokens in the past, and this seems like a kind of, I don't know what to call it. I mean, it looks superficially similar, but you're playing Dark Confidant and Monastery Mentor and Smallpox, which is definitely a very interesting angle of attack. If you can just sacrifice maybe a Lingering Souls token, or you have Mentor in play and you just sacrifice one of your own tokens, that does seem like a very cool avenue there. Although, I'm not sure how effective that is. It seems very mana hungry, like I said, and having Smallpox there does seem like a nombo if you're casting expensive spells. So, interesting deck that we played against, but I'm glad we got the W. So, see you guys in round 2.